Welcome to Between Two Pastries, a not-so-typical nutrition podcast. Nicole and Annie are licensed and registered dietitians. Join them as they discuss hot nutrition topics, challenge popular beliefs, and have a blast doing it. Here are your hosts, Nicole and Annie.
Welcome to Between Two Pastries. This is Nicole.
Hey everyone, it's Annie.
Oh, that was really sweet sounding.
I know. It's summertime.
Yeah, let's get some freshness in there. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm feeling good.
So today we're kind of continuing our discussion around kids and nutrition and parents' language around nutrition, language around their own kind of nutrition stuff, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Before we got on, Annie, you were talking about a news story that had came out. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, so I don't watch the news much, but Brian brought it to my attention that, and I'm sure someone will correct me if I have any of this wrong, parents allowed their 6-year-old to run a marathon, and his reward for finishing said marathon was 2 containers of Pringles. Now, they got a lot of scrutiny for obvious reasons, and claimed, well, he walked most of the time.
It's still 26 miles for a freaking 6-year-old. It's like taking your chihuahua out on a 26-mile run. It's not going to work.
How about there's people overseas who are walking that distance to save their lives? That maybe is an appropriate time to do that, but we're going to enter a 6-year-old into a marathon and think that that's a good idea for a growing body. And then we're going to reward the behavior with food.
Yeah.
That's what the entire running community does is they reward everything's a reward with food.
Crap with food.
Oh, I get to eat this or that because I ran whatever distance that you think makes you worthy.
It's insane. And I think that we were even saying too, is that not a cry for social services? Somebody's got to step in and be like, that's almost child abuse.
Right. I mean, and like I said, there's a lot of scrutiny. There's a lot of people who are really opposed to this. And I think they didn't get the accolades they thought they were going to get by making it public and, newsworthy. So there's a lot of backlash with it. So I would say majority of society is not too pleased about this. I mean, he's 6. Can you read at 6? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Seriously? What are you doing?
Yeah, it's very strange. And I think you were also saying too, there's kid runs that are 0.1 miles or something like that. What about introducing, your child to, the concept of competition running or whatever you want to call that? You know what I mean?
Exactly. I don't understand why that is even a thought in a parent's mind.
Completely.
Why is that even a thing?
Right.
I don't understand how any parent can make that decision for their child, whether it be exercise or even, again, food. Wait a second, you're telling me if this kid does this adult thing,
right,
he's going to get Pringles. And again, to a kid, that's, oh my God, that's a big deal, right? But Why is getting Pringles a big deal?
Correct.
What's wrong with Pringles?
Right. Why would that be, again, this whole food on a pedestal thing, this food having value? There's
Pringles might taste good.
Baby.
It might taste better than a banana, but they should be equal.
Not only equal, but the thing is that we need food to survive.
Correct.
So it's not a treat that we get to eat. It's something we need to do. And it just so happens that there's lots of different variety in which we can do that. Why are we creating something out of nothing? Do you know what I mean?
Right. But Nicole, I can't tell you how many parents, people in general, use food as a reward.
Absolutely.
Or as a means to get a kid to be quiet or go to the bathroom or whatever. And again, I get it. Bribery is part of the game sometimes, but to demonize food
Mm-hmm.
or put food on a pedestal
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because
Or you're
you're not
making, yeah,
sure
I'm
how
sorry.
to parent in a way that allows your child to, stop crying or whatever you want them to do. Be polite.
Mhm.
Who's the common denominator?
Well, there is that. And you're
Right?
also teaching that that's how you, like,
Mm,
oh, I have an emotion, then I
mhm.
eat.
Correct. I'm upset. I'm given food. Wow. Oh, so
I'm
if I
learning.
fake
Oh,
cry,
there's that.
now I get whatever
Yeah,
candy, chip,
right.
whatever.
So not only are we learning behavior like emotions equal I eat food,
Mhm.
but we're
But
also equating I get attention by
correct.
having an emotion,
Mhm.
versus like, okay, let's be with that emotion. Like, even if it's
Mhm.
irritating the heck out of me as a parent, I need to let
Mhm.
you as a child work this out.
Correct.
And we need to start teaching that it's okay that we have emotions and
Right.
that we explore, what that means and blah, blah, blah. And again, I'm not trying to act like an authority. I'm simply saying that we've got, we've got to be able to do the hard things with parenting too. And
Mhm.
again, not create this whole concept of, again, showing them how to adapt and how to survive by, you know,
Right.
using food as a tool to
But it doesn't even have to be negative emotions. Oh my
correct,
God, you got an A on your test or you won the
correct.
basketball game. Let's go for ice cream.
That's
I
right.
get it. That's a wonderful gesture, but they should not go together. They
Not at
should be
all.
separate. So,
Correct.
yay, you got an A, period. End the sentence. Next conversation. Would you like to get ice cream tonight? It's a nice night. We don't have anything going on. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
There's a distinction, right? Like
correct.
just because good things or bad things happen doesn't mean we
Right.
throw food in there
Right.
as a way to resolve or you know fulfill, impact, build up whatever
Hmm.
emotion is
Hmm.
being experienced.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
The
Exactly.
thing when a kid is sad,
Hmm.
yeah, give them a hug. Yeah,
Right.
that goes a long way. Like I'm
But
not
that's the
saying don't
thing.
do those things.
No, when there's emotion, though, let's keep it in the emotional realm. What is
Right.
needed here, right? Not only does the expression need to be had, but the actual acknowledgement of what this child is experiencing and feeling needs to happen too. And then it's still being handled on an emotional level,
What is hard about that?
not trying to act like, we would know. I do know that, sometimes it's really hard for parents. It's hard, and I understand that. And at the same time, there's got to be other ways. There's got to be other tools.
In your opinion, professional opinion, when is it okay to use food
It's
as
not
a okay?
ever. Yeah, no, we don't even have to answer that. We don't have to complete that sentence because it's not okay because it's, even I'll have adult clients and they'll be like, oh, I can't stand the term cheat day. I think is beyond
Oh,
ridiculous.
yeah, that's
But the term like, oh,
created by Weight
I
Watchers.
right. I had a treat. I had a treat. And it's like, okay, all right, I get it, but you're still elevating
Mhm,
this choice of food as something extra and special
mhm,
versus, again, it's on the same plane as broccoli. It
mhm.
just has a different it just has a
Profile,
different profile. It has a different flavor texture.
right?
It's just a different thing than broccoli. Like broccoli is different. You know what I'm saying? Like
I
it's
do.
all I know, it's all on the same plane and
Okay,
we need to live there.
so let me ask you this: is it appropriate, in your professional opinion, to use stickers for rewards?
Sure.
So, what's the difference between food and stickers?
Well, stickers don't create self-harm.
Yeah.
Stickers aren't associated with um, something that is needed for our survival.
Correct.
So
Yeah.
a treat is a sticker because it's something that we have to obtain.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be purchased, you know, you know what I'm saying? It's not something that we just have or that we have to do to take care of ourselves, right?
Right. Right. So that's the big difference ultimately with food and I don't know, TV stickers.
It's like
I don't
money.
know,
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Food is a necessity of life, even if
Correct.
that food
Necessity.
is candy, cake,
Sure.
whatever. Like, please stop leveling
Mm-hmm.
foods.
Right.
Best, better, bad, worse. Like, stop. Turn your brain off to good and bad. Foods are all food.
Right.
But kids are not learning that.
Well, and they're not learning what supports growth, what supports our brain health. Do you know what I'm saying? Like the types of foods and how they work. Like it's the education piece, you know.
Nicole, do you get a lot of new age moms who are doing a lot of the weird can't say no to their kids, and then they're on breast milk forever and they never go to whole milk, and then they go to like almond milk and it's organic? Like, do you get any like the new age
I have
stuff?
had a couple of those in my
How do you handle that?
Very gently.
Oh, you're nice. That's nice of you.
And with
I struggle with that. To me, that's
yeah.
neglect.
Well, but we have to, it's a matter of allowing them to sort of discover and make those choices from
As a
that
kid or a
space,
parent?
from that space on their own. It's them understanding that, oh, okay, maybe that isn't the best thing. I may want to do that, but I realize my child maybe needs something more. But you've got to kind of go in a roundabout way to get them there.
But like, it's common knowledge that if you can breastfeed or formula, whatever, it kind of like
Agreed.
That's what it is. At the 1 year mark, you switch to whole milk.
Correct.
Right? That hasn't changed because
changed.
This is not my primary population. So that hasn't changed.
Right.
So why are there books being written about this weird, crazy new age, switch them to almond or don't do this or do breast milk for 5 years or all of this weird ass?
I know.
Don't have cow's milk, dude. We didn't come from a cow. Like, that's so weird.
I know.
Cows have like the milk provided from dairy animals has all of your essential vitamins and minerals.
Right.
Period.
Right. But not only that,
especially for a newborn or 1 year old, they get the fat they need. It's brain development. Like, there's a direct link between whole milk and brain development.
Correct.
Why are we putting kids, 1 year olds, 2 year olds on almond milk?
Correct. I would agree with you.
So like stuff like that. And I get it. You're a very nice person and you can deal with this stuff. So like, you know how to talk to people about it. Whereas I about crap myself and can't handle it. But why are we losing? The real information has been out there forever.
I understand. Yeah, completely.
So who are these quackadoodles that are writing these books and maybe they have some sort of credentialing behind their name? They're hurt. Like, this is neglect at some point, right?
Yeah.
Like,
there's a lot of opinion behind their name. And again, this still comes down to what are the parents' beliefs around things?
Well, exactly. Right. And if you have problems around food, it's not going to go well.
That's correct. And so it's like, okay, what are the beliefs? What do you think you know? Right. And what I mean by that is, what do you think you know? Right. Because you'll get those people that are like, I've done my research, which is the most scariest thing to hear, because what that means is I scoured the internet to find what I want to see, not necessarily, because people don't understand what makes for a good study or a good article. People don't understand that.
Or you have to pay money to get actual research.
How about it?
You have to pay to see real research articles on the internet.
This is a true fact.
So I know I hate it as well when people come in and are like, yeah, I did my research. And you're like, no. Medline is not doing research.
Right. I know. So Annie and I have a parent pack that we are putting out where we are going to providing you with a bunch of different resources, kid-friendly recipes to do with them, kid-friendly activities to do at all different stages and ages as the summer is coming. We thought this would be kind of a nice thing to put together. We're also going to be putting together some dialogue that parents can use to actually have conversations around, these types of topics with their kids, watching their own language as they're
Mhm.
talking, whether they're talking with their kid or they're talking with a friend and their kid is nearby. It's being really aware of a lot of that stuff. So Annie and I have this parent pack that's available. You can find it in our podcast notes if you're interested in something like that. Moving into the next topic or age group, Annie shared her story about, or the article about the 6-year-old. And then I had a client who has a 9-year-old in her class who has put herself on a diet because she thinks that's what she needs to do because it's what mom's doing. And it's, I only eat what mom eats because that's the right way to do things.
Just breaks my heart.
I know. At 9 years old.
You're not only stunting your, like, Nicole, I mean, working in the field more closely with the diet culture stuff and with eating disorders, like I have had 9, 10, 11, 12-year-olds. Their growth is so stunted because of that. They look like
oh, that's
they're
so
6,
sad.
7, 8.
Oh, that's so sad.
And once they start eating, they start growing. And over the course of a couple months with these kids, like you can see their growth, but like it's only until that, but like it's so stunted. Your kids will not grow if you do not feed. It's like a goldfish in too small of a tank, right? It's like, it's the same concept.
Right.
Animals, humans, we don't grow if we do not feed us. Plants do not grow if you do not feed them.
Right.
Period. We
Right.
are the same way. You have to allow your children through age, sometimes age 20, sometimes with males,
especially with males,
ability to grow.
Right.
And that means letting them eat, letting them drink, hydrate, all of the things, let them play, go outside, all of the things. And you know what? They're going to go out, they're going to grow up. They're going to grow out, they're going to grow up.
Right.
That's the natural process of growth.
And there's nothing that you need to control.
No. So they have weight. Eventually it goes away. And sometimes it comes back and then it goes away. And guess what? Now you're age 40, 45 years old, whatever, and you're dieting because, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't have to be like this. Just let them be normal.
I know. And I'm also thinking though too, and you had made a really good point when we were offline in regards to, it's so true and it creates problems in so many developmental areas, but that we cannot treat our children like adults. They are children.
Right.
They perceive things differently. They do not have the brain development to understand adult concepts. They do not reason. It's all about survival for them. And so they interpret so much stuff as, I do this so I can live. I do this so I don't die. I do this so mom likes me. I do this so I don't get in trouble. Like, they don't have that concept, that ability to discern. And we have got to understand that we cannot treat them as adults in general. But I think to myself, not only, you're talking about stunting growth and all of that stuff, but I think mentally and psychologically, a 9-year-old does not need to be thinking about that kind of stuff.
No.
That pressure or whatever that is. Remember, you're molding this human being.
Right.
At this stage, you want to be celebrating. They're learning about their body. So let's celebrate the weird functioning of our body. Let's celebrate the idea that we can expand and contract, right? That like you were saying too, like, isn't it interesting how we change shape as we are developing?
How it should.
how we are out, like you said, and then how, we grow out, we grow up, we grow out, we grow up. Like, why are we not saying, wow, look at that, isn't that interesting, aren't we
Mhm.
cool? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, you want to play with those concepts,
Right.
and you want to get them connected to their body. What are they feeling? What are they experiencing? Is it weird? Is it fun? Is it blah blah blah?
Right.
Because we want to make their body safe. It's safe to be in their body. And
Right.
that's the thing that will create issue down the line.
I don't, I completely agree with you. And I struggle with why that concept is so hard
I
for
know.
parents. And we talk about, your kids are not adults. Don't
Right.
feed them like adults. Now, granted,
Right.
they should try different things. I'm not saying
Definitely.
give them pizza and chicken tenders all the time. That's not what I'm
Positively.
saying.
But they don't
All
have
I'm
the
saying,
development. They don't have that
correct,
development that I'm so sorry. I'm pointing here and no one can see us, but like the palate development, the
correct,
taste bud development, the development of them extracting certain flavors progresses. So
correct.
some things are going to be so hideously strong for them that they may not be able to tolerate it literally. And
Right,
that's okay. And that's why we keep reintroducing things, because as their buds develop, they're able then to find the balance in the certain flavors and textures in certain foods. But if we keep forcing and forcing and forcing them, or not pushing the idea of we need to try, we're creating other issue, right?
oh, and much bigger issue.
Much bigger issue, where I only eat 5 foods
Hmm. Right,
because that's just how it is.
right. And then you know what I mean? Like you're
Yes,
just accommodated. Like,
correct.
that's not okay
No,
either.
that's not okay either.
Right.
Absolutely.
But we got to stop treating these little kids like adults.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't know if generationally, if our parents treated us too much like kids, and that's why our generation is now treating kids like adults or whatever. Like, I don't know if it's some sort of a cascade issue, but what I do know is it's got to stop. These
Hmm.
children are children. Let them have juice boxes. Let
Hmm.
them have, popsicles or whatever. In summer, so I'm in that mode. Why do they have to have some weird organic, whole grain, fruity beet
Because
thing?
the parents alone are not comfortable with balance themselves. Right, 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 right.
And whatever, fine. Get the whatever kids organic
Sure.
juice, like whatever. That's fine. There's a juice box. But like I'm talking about like crazy shit people give their kids,
Correct.
and call it candy
Hmm.
or call it a smoothie. And it's like,
Sure.
this 5-year-old doesn't need 20 grams of fiber in the
Oh my
smoothie.
gosh.
You know what I
No.
mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's
No.
weird shit
Yeah.
where all the sugar alcohols or all of the like
Yes.
no sugar. And it's like, do
Yes.
you, and I guess the one I see most often is failure to thrive in a young body, 5, 6, 7 years old, because mom didn't give them whole milk growing up, and they've literally been neglected of calcium and milk and all of the things.
Hmm.
Well, yeah, I'm sorry. Now you're going to have to pay for supplements because what did you think was going to happen?
Oh,
You know
man.
what I mean? It's just
I
like,
do.
because of your issues,
Right.
your child is suffering. What is so wrong with cow's milk? What is so wrong with
Right.
whole milk? I mean, I've heard comments like, oh, they've had too much dairy today. What does that mean? What does that mean? Like,
Right.
I didn't know there was an upper limit.
Well, that's the thing of like, what does it mean to the parent? What's their
Right.
understanding? And then we start to help clear that up.
Right. When we
Right.
get consults for kids, you might as well not even bring the kid in for 6 appointments.
I literally tell them that. So if I have somebody calling, it's usually like a fix my kid situation, and I ignore that completely,
Always.
because I'm
Always.
like, it starts with you. So let's talk about figure this piece out. Let's
Mhm.
find what we're not comfortable with, what we are comfortable with, and let's try to find this place where you can be the adult they need you to be. Like,
Right.
you're the one that needs to be the one, providing choice. And they need to see that from you, not from another person that they don't know.
Correct.
if we want to use this term, they're imprinting on you. They
Right.
need this from you. They need that connection, that guidance, that confidence, right?
Right.
From you. They don't
Right.
want that from somebody else. It just won't work. And I will not sit and talk to a 5-year-old. I refuse.
No, it's not appropriate.
It will, because they're a 5-year-old. Like,
Right. Right.
first
Even
of
if they were
all,
10, not appropriate.
you know,
Parents cook the food.
correct. And this is why we give kids choices. You have 3 choices. It's this, this, or this. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? Or whatever, however it works. And different age groups require different types of
Correct, because of
choicing.
development.
Correct.
Right.
Because otherwise, sorry, I'm going to get into all those things, but at any rate, we're
Well,
going to talk about some of the stuff in that parent pack if you guys
exactly.
are interested in it, because there's so much here. And again, I also just kind of want to make a big disclaimer too. Again, parenting is so challenging, and we totally and completely get it. And at the same time, though, it's like we're losing some basics, though. We're losing some basics in creating a growing human and supporting a growing human. You know what I'm saying?
Totally.
Yeah.
But
so
I want to also include too, it's not just parents that are affecting these kids.
Correct.
This is a parent
like you
pack,
said.
but coaches.
Mhm.
I recently heard a coach say,
No. Mm-mm.
no junk food before your tournament.
Nope. No.
What does that even mean?
Well, who knows?
And
Who
these
knows?
are, these are burly guys who are products of the 80s and 90s. Like,
Well,
come on, man. Like, we're past this. And these are girls.
Well, and that's the thing. And it's like, and what are you even saying, right?
Right.
Like,
what does that mean?
So, but that's just it. And those kids are going the same thing. Like, again, what's the first thing that's going to come to their mind? Like,
oh, no chips, no candy.
Gosh, is that like
no soda?
Like, okay, so that's bad, or that means
Right.
that
Mhm.
I'm bad, or
So if I
I'm
eat that
not
food,
a good runner, right?
correct.
Right. Or it starts
Whatever
leading
sport, right.
into all of the things. And that's
Mhm.
what we have to be so careful with our words.
Teachers, children are sponges.
Oh, absolutely.
They see what you're doing. They mimic what you're doing. They want to be you, all of the things. Even high schoolers, you might not know it. They are listening and watching. And the more you're dieting and caring about your body and all of the things, they pick up on that.
Yeah.
And it's awful. Teachers play a big role. Teachers, coaches, and parents. Those are the people that impact children probably the most. And then, of course, you have that doctor's appointment where they tell you your BMI is too high, and that really gets kids.
Sake. And again, it's this language, it's these concepts, and I know. So anyway, we're excited to kind of, hopefully bring a little bit support and perspective and dialogue and even scripting, really,
Correct.
in our parent pack too. So anyway, check that out if you're at all interested. And again, we want to be here as a support. We're not trying to criticize and break people down. We can't help to observe certain things and then also see the impact of it. And it's the impact of it that it's like, okay, something has to give. And so
we shouldn't, our clientele base should not be becoming primarily children because of, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm getting so many requests for kids.
Yeah.
And it's like, is this real life?
Yeah. I had a mom sit in my office and actually say, I'm concerned that my daughter has cellulite on her legs.
Oh my God.
It took all of me not to punch her in the face. However,
I might have. And you know me, I might have.
Well, only because I am just feeling so much for this daughter who cannot be good enough for her mother, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, leave.
Nothing
leave the
she
house.
does
Find
is
a new mom.
good enough for this mom. And that became very clear in the session. And it was just so hard to hear that. And again, this is where, like I said, my reaction is I want to protect this child. And the second thing, though, is having compassion for the mom, though, that's just what she has learned as well. But it made me feel so sad that in her mind, it was okay to talk
Nicole,
about that.
Nicole, I get it. And you're a nice person. But like, you can have compassion for that mom. But like, what if someone is, well, my dad beat me, so I'm going to beat my kid.
Correct. Exactly.
No, we cannot,
Right.
that cannot be acceptable, period.
That's exactly right.
Because you know that abuse is wrong,
Correct.
but yet you do it. You know that yucky body image and not, is going to affect that kid. And that's that whole like, well, maybe if I, I'll guilt them into some or make them feel shitty enough that they'll do the opposite or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That's not okay.
Right.
And that's, and again, you're a better person than I am. And that's why you can do what you do full time. And I don't have compassion for that parent.
Mm-hmm. I
really struggle to be able to look at them and say, oh, well, you must have learned that, like, I'm like, you are like, I can't help but bark at them. Mm-hmm. And really, really struggle with like, dude, you can't say that to your kid, period.
I know.
Period.
I know.
And I don't care if someone said that to you. How did it make you feel?
Correct.
Let's talk about how you feel.
Of course.
Someone says that to you.
Right. And why you would want to impose that same feeling onto someone else. But the thing is that if that awareness isn't there, that they actually had a feeling around it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I do.
If it was, hey, this is just the way it is, and this is just the way it is, and then they just didn't drop down into what that actually felt like for them. So if they've never actually had the opportunity to identify that or even say, I have a feeling and it's okay, and it feels really, really bad because I really don't want to live this way, but I feel like I have to. Do you see what I'm saying?
How suppressed are your emotions then?
Exactly. But there are
like
a lot.
You can't make that connection. I have to tell you that.
Correct.
You can't make that connection to your feelings without a professional saying, oh, doesn't that make you feel bad? Mm-hmm. What? Yeah. That's how disconnected the majority of people are in society to any feeling.
Correct.
We are robots.
Absolutely.
We suppress emotion.
I know.
And if we feel angry, sad, happy, we're ridiculed or it's commented on social media, whatever. Mm-hmm. These kids are growing up in a social media world where if they say anything or do anything, you're out.
Right. Right.
And of course, it's growing in terms of body image and food too.
Right.
I mean, it's just really yucky.
Right.
I hate it.
Yeah, it really is. So,
and that's why we're doing all this.
And this is why we're talking about this. That's why we have that offering. I mean, it's just, it's something that, again, this is escalating. I mean, if it's now starting to go into the age of 6, I mean, come on, we're going to start. Kids need to be kids.
Oh no, I've seen it where moms aren't giving their babies at 1 year. Like literally,
there you
that
go.
happens.
There it is.
And they feel like their babies are too roly poly.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, I've seen that one. Mm-hmm. And that one I've struggled probably the worst with is trying to coach parents that why a baby has rolls and polies and all of the things.
Yeah. We need to start normalizing what's actually normal,
right,
instead of shunning what's normal,
right. But there's also this competitive, like, well, my kid was able to sing or read or do a walk by this age. Well, no, my kid was able to at this age, and it's getting this like competition to that your kid is better, that your kid, and it's again, this sounds so ridiculous, but it's my kid is thin, my kid, and it's like this is so fucked up.
It is, though.
Like, this is just unreal how delusional people have become with development and what it should look like or not look like.
Yeah, it's really sad.
Mm-hmm. It's not just food. It's all over the place, of course, with development. But from the food side of things, it's getting wackier and wackier.
It really, truly is, though. Yeah.
So.
Ay. Well.
I could emotionally go on and on and on with this one, but
it because it strikes a chord.
It does.
Because of the fact that a child anyway is the most innocent, right? I mean, they're incredibly
who trust
innocent,
their parents,
who have and you want to develop that trust, but what we're teaching is not trusting the right things sometimes, then that whole concept gets skewed and there's confusion around that. I mean, I know we're all just trying to do the best that we possibly can.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And you don't know what you don't know. I get that.
You don't know what you don't know. And again, there is a lot of confusion in the world. There is a lot of hurt, and it will continue to be projected onto other people until it is dealt
Correct.
with.
Right.
So, that is the way it works. Anyway, okay. Well,
I know
we'll bring this to a close, but again, feel free to leave us comments. And I mean, we always love to hear from our listeners. So anyway, take care, everybody.
Yeah.
And
more to come.
We know everybody's doing the best they can, and we support that. So
sorry, I don't mean to offend anyone. It's just hard.
It really is hard. It is it breaks our hearts a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I
know it's hard not to. So anyway, we're going to try to do something about that. So again, check out our program if you're interested. Trying to leave on a positive note. Bye-bye. All right. Take care, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Have questions you want to hear discussed on the show? Find us on Facebook or visit betweentwopastries.com and drop us a line. Want to support the show? Find us on Patreon for exclusive content. If you love the show, find us on iTunes or your favorite podcast platform. Hit the subscribe button and leave us a review.